Now in this video we discuss many questions about structure and reactivity chapter and reaction mechanism of organic chemistry. Right, this is very fundamental because if we have a thorough understanding of structure, reactivity and basic mechanisms, then we can predict the product of many reactions. So let's get started. It's a series of questions. For every question you can pause the video, think about the probable solution and then move forward. So let's get started. Question number 1. What is the product of these reactions P1 and P2? For P1 and P2. Right. So now what is SbCl5? SbCl5 is going to abstract this chlorine. Right. And create what? It is going to create a carbocation over here. Then we know that methyl cyclopropyl carbocation is stable due to dancing resonance. We know that methyl cyclopropyl carbocation is stable due to dancing resonance. Right, so we will have a ring contraction over here. So once we have a ring contraction, so we can see that the plus transfers over here. This is CH2OH, and then H2O attacks over here. So we have OH formation at this particular carbon. So P1 would be corresponding to this molecule. Right, so answer would be C. What happens with HBr? For HBr we can see the reaction is going to proceed like this. H plus attacks first, H2 is gone, and then there is a plus over here. Then the case of ring expansion, right, it forms a 5-membered ring. Then because bromine is more nucleophilic than chlorine, it replaces this chlorine as well as attacks on the new positive site also. So answer for this question is C. Right, next, which of the following compound have some solubility in water? So answer, water is a polar solvent. So where we have polar aromatic compounds, they will be dissolving in water. In the first one, if we delocalize, if we do the polarization plus and minus, it becomes aromatic. So it's a polar aromatic. What about this? Again, plus minus, so it's aromatic. What about this? If I delocalize this electron towards this, this becomes negative and this becomes positive. Again, polar aromatic. And the same over here. If we delocalize towards this, this is negative and this is positive. Both the rings are aromatic, satisfying Huckel's rule. So hence all of them A, B, C, D would be soluble in water. Hence answer is A, B, C, D. Next, which of the following would be significant product of the given reactions? So we are talking about the thermodynamically controlled product. Okay, so let's get started. First, H plus is going to attack on this, protonate this alcohol, and H2O becomes a good living group. So we have H, C triple bond C, this is CH plus over here, then CH double bond CH2. Now we can see that this can be further delocalized. For example, if the double bond delocalize from here, from left, we will have the intermediate carbocation as something like this. And if there is a delocalization from the triple bond from the left hand side, so it would be something like this, H double bond C double bond C. This would be plus over here, and this is CH double bond CH2. So these. Now water is going to attack. So let us say this attacks over here, here and here. Right, and let us try to analyze the product and see which of them is the stable one. So we can see in the first one, this is CH OH double bond carbon double bond CH CH double bond CH2. Enol will convert to keto form CH double bond O. Right, so it is a case of an extended conjugation, right, and therefore the most stable. So this would be the major product. In the remaining, we can see that this tautomerism is not possible, and we have this as the products. So if you compare the stability of the product, here we will have OH over here. If you compare the stability, this one is the most stable, and hence this would be formed in the major product. Now we can see that if we consider this carbocation intermediate, it is less stable as compared to this one and this one. However, this reaction pathway is followed because it gives the most stable product. Such is known as thermodynamically controlled product. So this is the answer for this particular question. Let me just remove the animation for you to see the answers. Okay. Now next, passage 3. How many rings are aromatic in this compound? So clearly we can mark the rings. Let us say this is first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. Right? You can pause the video and answer it. So how many rings are aromatic? The first one is aromatic. Second one is also aromatic. 2 electrons, and 2 electrons over nitrogen can be delocalized. Huckel rule is followed. Third is also aromatic. Right? And sixth is also aromatic. So answer for this question will be 4 rings are aromatic. Then number of delocalized electron present in a pentagonal ring. So in a pentagonal ring, if you see, right, we can see that we have this double bond and this lone pair in conjugation. So number of electron which can be delocalized is 6. So for 27 answer is 6. How many rings have planar geometry, pentagonal and hexagonal? We know that for resonance, planarity is one of the sufficient required conditions. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, these rings will be planar. So we'll have 4 rings which are planar. So answer is B. Next, for the next question, consider the following compounds. Which among the following can release H2 gas on reaction with Na? Now clearly NaH gives H minus. It is in search of H plus. So from the first one, if H plus is gone, this is negative and this becomes anti-aromatic. So not possible. In the third one, if H plus is gone, then this is negative. It becomes again anti-aromatic because we have 8 electrons in conjugation. So not possible. Now out of second and fourth, over here, if this central is H plus is gone and this is negative charge over here, we can see that if this ring is aromatic, then the other ones are not. Plus, because of the constant that all the ring have to be in one particular plane, there is a repulsive strain which is there. So this is highly strained, so not possible formation. On the other hand, because this is allowed to move, and also if this hydrogen is gone, then this lone pair creates this as an aromatic ring. It becomes quite stable. Therefore 4 is going to liberate H plus faster, and therefore we can say which among the following can release H2. So answer would be the fourth molecule, hence answer is C. Right? Then next, question number 32. Which will have the least pKa? Now when we say pKa is least, which means Ka should be maximum. And if I say Ka should be maximum, right, Ka should be maximum, which means it should be the strongest. So again, if the acid is stronger, it is bound to give more H plus. So the reasoning is on the similar lines. So again for this question, answer would be B. Now which among the following will favor the release of hydride? Hydride means H minus has to be released, right? So we can see, I'm just removing the annotations, just a minute. So in the first one, if H minus is gone, right, this is plus, it becomes aromatic. Over here, H minus is gone, this becomes aromatic. So first and third. So answer is D. So for this question, answer is D. Next, among the following, identifying the electron withdrawing group in resonance. So when we know that if we say benzene, then minus R is given by compound when the first atom has a positive charge or has a empty orbital. We can see out of this, the first one has a lone pair, so it will be plus R. The third one, this has a lone pair, OTS has a O has a lone pair, so these are plus R. So in this case, N is having a positive charge, so this will be electron withdrawing or showing minus R effect. So answer for 7 question is B. Right? Next, what is the oxidation state of nitrogen in both the resonating structures? Now understand, nitrogen, when we say resonating structures, it is just delocalization of an electron. So a bond pair will convert into a lone pair and vice versa, and create a equal positive or negative charge respectively. So it is not going to matter, it is not going to affect the charge, the oxidation state. So nitrogen over here it is -3, over here also it is -3. So answer is A. So remember that resonance does not alter the oxidation state. So answer 12, answer is A. Question number 19. Resonance effect is not possible in. So resonance effect is not possible in case of D because it is bridge. And in bridge compound, if you delocalize, it will be creation of a double bond at a bridgehead. So the angular strain will be much. Therefore answer is D. Question number 25. The correct order of resonance stabilization of the anion. Right. So we can say that stronger the acid, the stable is the conjugate base. The strongest acid is sulfonic acid. Therefore PHSO3, this will be the strongest stabilization. So this will be most stable. Right. Now for the second and third one, we will not calculate the number of resonating structures. For acetate we have only 2. For phenoxide we'll have 5. But then this is equivalence resonance. The two structures that we draw over here will have same type of double bonds and same type of atom having a negative charge. So this is a equivalent resonance. Therefore 2 will be stable than 3. So 2 will be more stable than 3. And for the fourth one, it is not possible to have a resonance. Therefore answer is 1, 2, 3, 4. For this question number 25, answer is C. Then question number 21. You have 3 molecules as indicated below, where L1, L2 and L3 are bond lengths. Now this is an important question, and we have to understand that if you talk about say carbon double bond carbon and say single bond, so the effect of resonance is that the single bond, for carbon single bond carbon, the bond order goes from 1 towards 2. So it is increasing. For double bond in conjugation, it is going from 2 towards 1. So more is resonance, the double bond gets weaker and longer. So it will depend upon the resonance. Now resonance, it involves delocalization of electrons, and those electrons should be delocalized very easily if they are having equal, if the participating orbitals are of equal energy. S it is for the sulfur it is 3p, for carbon it is 2p, so it is difficult. So this will be least resonating, and therefore double bond remains intact and the bond length is shorter. So L1 has to be the last one. Now over here for this one and this one, so here there is, because oxygen 2p orbital, carbon 2p orbital, so is the case with nitrogen also. So here we see the electronegativity. Nitrogen is less electronegative and therefore more willing to share the electron, and therefore the bond order will decrease drastically from 2, right, and therefore the bond will be longer. So L3 should be more than L2, should be more than L1. So for question number 21, answer is B. We have to remember that, you know, due to resonance, double bond becomes longer and less stronger, and single bond becomes shorter and stronger. Next, question number 27. In the given molecule, lone pair present on the heteroatoms are numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4. The correct order for these lone pair in order of their participation in resonance. So we can clearly see, you know, we don't have to look for the 4 options. We can see that sulfur is not going to participate that much because here 3p orbitals are involved, right? Therefore 4 has to be the last one. There is only one option, which is D. So for this question, answer is D. Then question number 3. Which among the following will have least electrophilicity? Now when we talk about say boron fluoride, so there is a phenomena of backbonding, and backbonding can happen to a greater extent. Why? Because the orbitals involved are of equal energy. Whereas in Bi3, the orbitals are of unequal energy. Therefore, backbonding is not that stronger. Getting it? So backbonding is there. This boron does not require. So it will be least electrophilic. So answer is A. Iodine, this will be most electrophilic because backbonding is not happening. So for question number 3, answer will be A. Now this is the first set of videos for this particular thing, which is the structure and reactivity. We will continue with more questions in the next video.